It really is good to be home again. So I'm here in my quigdom once again, doing what I like to do, tasting whiskey. I have here another curiosity. This one is the Tawse, or Tawse, Handcrafted Pinot Barrel Canadian whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume, and it is 750 mils. So Pinot barrel. What to expect? There is got to be a pull tab here somewhere. Yes, there is. I picked this up locally on, what was the date here? June 25th. So a little over a month ago. Now it's August the 6th. Yeah. And this cost me $57.99 was the price tag. 5.8 divided by 2. Okay. $2.90 goods and service tax plus 5.8. That's a liquor tax, $5.80 liquor tax. Plus, don't forget the bottle deposit. Plus $57.99. Grand total of $66.79 out the door. And this is a small distillery, from what I understand. I'm gonna. Ooh, weird sounding cork. I'm gonna pour me a glass, and then I'm going to read what it says on the bottle about this little curiosity. 40%. There's no age statement on it, but it's from a small distillery because this was the first I ever heard of it when I saw it on the shelf. It says here, Tawse, or Tawse, is a family-owned winery and distillery dedicated to producing premium artisanal spirits. Our copper pot still unites our traditional approach with state-of-the-art technology to create unique spirits with purity and character. Aged for 3 years in whiskey barrel and finished in Pinot Noir wine barrels. So it's 3 years old and a bit with a Pinot Noir finish. So ex-bourbon and then Pinot Noir. There you go. Let's see now. I can smell that stuff already. The Pinot Noir, that is. This might be a lot like the double barrel from Shelter Point. Maybe. The double barrel Pinot Noir from Shelter Point, but the Shelter Point double barrel Pinot Noir has 46% alcohol by volume compared to 40%, which this has. And take a look at the legs. It's kind of viscous for something at 40%. Those legs are coming down slowly, and they're thick ones too. Has a nice woody and winey aroma. I'm getting some dark fruits and berries. Mostly fruits like grapes. Ripe fruits. Ripe darker fruits, but not dried. That must have been quite a wet Pinot Noir. These must have been wet Pinot Noir barrels that this was finished in, because there's a lot of that influence here. Pinot Noir, would it have been French oak as well? That would add to some of the tannins, and that would add some of the woody notes maybe a slight bit of bitterness. Maybe. This Pinot Noir is hiding a lot of the Canadian whiskey characteristics that are underneath it. I'm guessing it's corn whiskey mostly, maybe blended with a bit of rye whiskey, and who knows, maybe some wheat. I couldn't say. It doesn't say, but it being Canadian whiskey, it's usually a blend. And this is from Vineland, Ontario. So back in Ontario. Probably somewhere near Niagara Falls. Down in the neighborhood where 40 Creek comes from. But you know what else it could be? The Pinot Noir could have been their own Pinot Noir barrels, because this is they are a winery also, so it's their own winery. They didn't have to come from France. I was making assumptions there. Of course, they'd use their own Pinot Noir barrels because they're a winery and distillery. So yeah, they could have been very wet barrels. I'm getting a little bit of corn sweetness deep down in there. A little bit of rice spice. Yeah, there's some rice spice in there. And that all mixes together with the Pinot Noir dark ripe fruity characteristics. On the nose, it's interesting. I'm going to cleanse my palate. Okay. First sip, first impression. 3 years old. Yeah, it's quite young. It has a lot of that youthful exuberance. Some might call it a little rough for 40% alcohol by volume. After the first sip, the nose hasn't changed much. Yeah, the Pinot Noir finish overcoats everything, and it's quite hot for a 40% alcohol by volume. I was expecting it to be a little lighter, but this has got some roughness to it as well. I think more time in the ex-bourbon and less time in the Pinot Noir might have served it better. I'm not sure that it is my style of Canadian whiskey. I'm not that big on finishes unless, well, I'm guessing that maybe the finish is covering up something else. I noticed that, yeah, it's a little hot and harsh on the palate, and maybe that's what the Pinot Noir is trying to cover up. But I can understand that they may have been in a rush to put this out and get some cash flow. But I'm also imagining that they make wine, so they would have some cash flow from that. This was the first I ever heard of Tawse, or Tawse. I think it's Tawse with a long S, with a Z kind of S rather than a S kind of S, rather than a sharp S. Now there's a bit of toffee and vanilla underneath all that Pinot, but vanilla, rice spice. Yeah, it does coat the mouth though. I'm getting all that Pinot Noir grape coating. And on the finish, it's not a very long finish. There's a little bit of caramel and vanilla, and then it's slightly bitter and dry. And that's the end. And I guess I'll drink to your good health. Cheers.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.